Okay, Rabbi Yisrael, what are we going to talk about today?
Yeshiva wants me to talk about Shlomo Carlebach, and I don't want to talk about him. I will say that I owe him because this Megayer, my wife ציפורה Chana, he gave her the name ציפורה, her original name was Patricia Eileen, and years later I married her, and Baruch Hashem we have children, and children's children, so it's in his chus, so I have to have a karsatay for him. I don't want to talk about Shlomo himself. Shlomo is a non-sugya. Anybody has any questions is invited to ask his local Orthodox rabbis. Is it permitted to listen to the tapes? Is it permitted to read the books? I want to talk about Shlomo in connection with Breslov, since I'm a Breslover, right? So how does it come together? Or it doesn't come together. I want to say that start with an angle that there's something called sanity. The question is, does sanity exist? Hasidus seems to believe that sanity exists, and that it's one of the functions of the tzaddik to bring sanity into the world, to give his Hasidim sanity. And like a toladah of the sanity is the good atmosphere, the avirat tovah that the tzaddik produces, and this is felt by the Hasidim as they sit around his tish.
Interesting, you mentioned sanity. One of the other Gadol adoring Gematrias besides you, Rav Meir Zev Kaplan, Daniel's brother. When the book came out, it was a bestseller a number 30 years ago, Guard Your Tongue. He said, what we really need is a book, Guard Your Sanity.
Sure.
So.
But the question is, in other words, like from the literature point of view, I don't know if they believe in sanity. They really have to learn Torah, saying, not saying, make no mishana. Those are Rashi. Those are Tosfos. And Adarabah, if something brings a good atmosphere, so it's chashud, right? Why should you run to, Lord get me high, Lord get me high? You have to run to learn Torah, right? And all these good feelings is something goyish, is something doesn't have to do with our religion. So there's like a machlokes over here between one of the many machlokes, one of the many toldos of the original machlokes between Hasidus and not Hasidus. But Hasidus is saying sanity, good atmosphere, and the Litvish world is saying we never heard of any of such things. We weren't makabel such things from our rabbis. So now the thing that with Shlomo is that people say there was a good atmosphere, right? I don't know. I was never there when he spoke. I was there once in a place on the Chov Ramban, I think.
Ben Maimon 29.
Ben Maimon 29. Who's there? Was it?
Gabriel, I forget his last name, and
Anyways,
American boy.
I was there.
And his wife from Belgium.
I was there, and I almost stayed, but I walked out like at the last minute. So I was never. So I can't give edus. Was there a good atmosphere? This we can turn to Shomea, and you can tell us. Pashtus people are saying that it was. I mean, that's why they were there, right? Because he made such a good feeling. So there's like a kash over here. How could it be? How could it be that a person who is like breaking the rules, yet he is able to produce sanity, right? He's like speaking some zach, right? He's like saying, this is the way things should be, and he seems to be right. It seems to be right, and he's producing a good atmosphere. So how is this happening? It's a kasha. It's like a kasha. Rabbi Nachman. It's a kasha and Hasidus, but especially Rabbi Nachman, because Rabbi Nachman is dealing with these things in depth. The thing of listening to somebody who's not kosher, right? He's singing and he's not a kosher person. The thing of the Avir Noach Vitzach, the thing of being able to communicate with other people. That Shlomo seems to be like a...
maybe he had a mitzvah, Shlomo, Lahavta l'reicha kamocha. Maybe in Olam Alitai, maybe they're missing this mitzvah.
There is a kasha. Now, that was the point of my thesis. I'd like a little bit to attack Yeshua Meir in a gentle way, is that if you're not, there's two sides to the story. If you're not shaykh to Breslov, if you're not shaykh to these deep ideas, so you say Shlomo is a phenomenon, right? He produces music, very nice, and and he says sane things. He speaks very sanely, and etc. etc. And he's makar people to Yiddishkeit. Thousands of people in makar to Yiddishkeit. But I'm saying, somebody who knows these things from a pneumistic level and has his expectations that this is supposed to come out of Breslov, and when it doesn't come out of Breslov and it comes out of izhbitza, right? Like Shlomo's like trying to live a izhbitza way of life, and he seems to be succeeding. So this is like a kasha in Breslov. This is like my attack on Yeshua Meir. How can you listen to this music when it's coming from a place that is antithetical to Breslov? The whole thing,
Well, there are many nekudos mishave between Breslov and izhbitza. Barosh ein shum yish b'olam klal ashivcha. A standard theme. He's
the point
saying.
is that you're supposed to be.
And the Rebbe says you have to know all this for him, especially those that aren't against Rabbeinu.
So you have to dan shlomo lekavschus. That's what you're supposed to be going around doing, being dan lekavschus. But this person is undermining the whole system.
Of Breslov?
Yeah. Maybe. Again, I'm just saying a thesis. It could be wrong. Somebody will say that Shlomo was the greatest Beifitz of Breslov ever. And Yachat showed me a work that somebody collected. It seems Shlomo had a certain period when he was very strong with Breslov. And Mamash Shlomo gives it over in a very mystical way, without pulling any punches. So, I don't know, I'm just saying a thesis, and this connects to Eliezer Berland also. Eliezer Berland even more, because Shlomo, okay, you have the famous picture, he's sitting next to Reb Gedalia, right? And Reb Gedalia's eyes are big, because they were always big. Shlomo's eyes are big because he's imitating Reb Gedalia. But it's two opposites, right? Reb Gedalia is completely given over to the Rebbe. He's going to make shnur money. It's for the Rebbe, and Shlomo is not given over at all. If he's given over to anything, he's given over to Mekav to Yiddishkeit. But anything goes. Anything that he thinks is going to be Mekav to Yiddishkeit is kosher. So and with his mishigasin, with his personal mishigasin thrown in also. So, but Eliezer Berland is mamash for years, 45 years. He's in Breslov. He's connected to all the big people, right? So like this book came out, Hasaraf. So we have all these pictures of Eliezer Berland together with Yitzhak Bender and with Shmuel. So somebody in Breslov, on one of the copies, he's crossing out Eliezer Berland and all the pictures. But that's not solving the problem. It's a very cheap solution to the problem. You have a tremendous problem with a person who is so in Breslov and still doing what they say he's doing. So it's a big kasha. So I mean, what are you supposed to do? Down such a person that comes chusna is like the whole system like collides with this personality, right? With a very big personality. Who has charisma, who has seemingly some nitzot of sanity, who has atmosphere, he's makarv people. On the other hand, he has a side to him that he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He has a very negative side to him, or so people say. And the question is, how does the system...
Berland.
Yes. Shlomo also, same thing. I said recently, before this whole scandal about the lazer came out, I said without Shlomo there never would have been no lazer berland. Without a person with so much charisma and so much, and no holds barred. There was a person who lets his charisma out and doesn't let anybody stop him in any way. Has no busha or whatever it is. He just does his thing. So lazer is a Talmud of Shlomo in a certain way, and like one did him one better or worse. That on the one hand he's selling the system and he's makar people to the system. On the other hand, his very existence completely contradicts the system, completely contradicts Rabbi Nachman. He's like Shlomo in place of Rabbi Nachman, and he has a berland in place of Rabbi Nachman, and mamash kof b'fnei adam. So, anyways, that's my thesis for today. That certain people are by their very being of how they put together Yiddishkeit and not Yiddishkeit, anti-Yiddishkeit, how they put it together contradicts the very system of Breslov, not izhbitza, but Breslov, and it's like a kasha. Okay, so you have to deal with the kasha, whatever it is. Establish from a kasha, don't die from a kasha, but these are real problems. These people are making real problems for anybody who feels Breslov deeply. How does Breslov produce such monsters?